So like Aether Vial is a good card, right? Like yesterday was a fluke. If we play another Aether Vial deck, it'll go better. Right, YouTube? Right? Right? Hey folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today we're playing a Dealer's Choice donation deck list. Bowlful donated for D&T or a D&T adjacent deck. And I found this Blue-White Humans deck from the top 32 of an event recently, and I decided to give it a go. So I am, maybe notorious isn't the right word, but I'm well known for liking very stable, very consistent mana. And this is a 2-color deck that just has 4 blue cards in the main deck. So like we're going to have rock solid mana, and I'm pretty happy about that fact. So this is kind of not quite Death and Taxes, not quite Humans, because like we're not entirely a tribal deck. We're real close. But this is like almost a mono white hybrid, like beatdown control hate bearers sort of deck. It's kind of neat. So just kind of breaking down the stompy side of it, you have Champion of the Parish as well as Thalia's Lieutenant, as things that can beat down and make your creatures hit pretty hard. And you have some creatures that are particularly good if they grow, such as Esper's Sentinel. So we're going to have some very big creatures and some creatures that get much more annoying when they get buffed a little bit. We don't have quite the inevitability of either Death and Taxes or, say, like Esper Vial. You know, there's not a Stoneforge Mystic package here, for example, to just like really outclass cards. There's not a Soul Herder here to just set up basically infinite recruiter chains. We're maybe hoping to stomp pretty hard, make a hole, and then end the game with it. Now, we might have a bit more balanced combo matchup than Death and Taxes might, because while Death and Taxes mainly has Thalia as its 2-mana hate thing, and sometimes Spirit of the Labyrinth, we have Meddling Mage, and as long as we understand the matchup and know what the matchup is, this is a very powerful Game 1 tool. I love the main deck. I think the sideboard is super sus, because it plays a lot of cards that are like really borderline legacy playable. So for example, Kataki is super fringe and kind of narrow, and Sanctifier in Vec can nuke graveyards, but kind of in a limited way. Similarly, like what are you looking to fight with Tomic? This is often like very crippling good against something like, say, lands or maybe a Dark Depths based strategy. So these maybe 5-ish sideboard slots seem a little loose to me and might be better off as something else. But I understand wanting to have a really high creature density. So if you take a look, there's 33 creatures in this main deck, which is pretty insane. Basically, other than the lands, you have 4 Aether Vials and 2 Swords to Plowshares. The other ones are, honorary Swords to Plowshares, named Solitude. Otherwise, most of the rest of the stuff that's in the sideboard looks pretty reasonable. I'm excited to give this one a go. I tend to like decks that look like this. And just here's to hoping that we have a better league than yesterday with Goblins, because that was hard on morale. I was dead by the time that video was over. Anyway, if you're new here, please consider subscribing for Legacy, Modern, and Vintage content 5 days a week. If you're a regular, throw me a like. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. If you really like what's going on, check out my video description for either this deck list or my donation information so you can get one of your own decks on stream. Let's battle. Okay, I have a keepable opening hand here. The question is, like, what am I doing on turn 1? Am I playing the Esper Sentinel out and trying to curve Esper Sentinel into Thalia, or do I want to play the Mother of Runes for protection? And honestly, that's kind of tricky. The Solitude probably pitches to a Solitude at some point in this match, and it's a question of, like, how much do I need more cards versus how much do I want to just have Mom active to protect Athalia. I think I want cards if this is a fair matchup. I want to be able to pitch to Solitudes easily. But I don't think I want it badly enough to not play Mother of Runes on turn 1. Okay. So are we eating the Swords to Plowshares here? Oh. You're not. Okay. We got choices. I think I just do this. Now the question is, like, do I want my opponent to have Dragon Rage Channeler for a little while so that I can try to not pitch a Solitude to a Solitude. 100% resolve this Solitude right now. I don't think I'm in a greed. I think I just want this to happen 100% of the time. And remove that. I think I just kind of want to, like, choke my opponent out here, hope I get to Wasteland them, play an Esper Sentinel, draw some more cards. Not Wasteland them, apparently. Oh, that's nice. I think I play a counterable Esper Sentinel. Nice. Uncounterable Thalia's Lieutenant. Nice. And we'll swing with a Thalia here. I will just hold this Mom back. My creatures are pretty valuable right now. I expect to win this game at this point. Yeah. I'll take that card. Always yield to that. Okay. I mean, that's not my ideal draw or anything, but, you know, it means we're looking at a different card next turn, which is nice. Because every card that I draw just makes this better. Sure. Okay, that's fine. So notably, there's a counterbalance in the graveyard now. There's no instant in the graveyard yet, so this could turn into a 3/3. I think it's fine if it does. I can Mom Protect. End it all here. Well, I mean, not all of it. You get it. Yeah, that's fine. I'll trade these bodies. Let my opponent take 5. All right, they're down to 12. I'm just gonna play a Tundra and pass. I'll let my opponent know that I'm a second color, but I'd rather not show the second Wasteland. Yep. I'll draw a card. Okay. Again, not really what I'm looking for, but this may give me some options if I... Never mind. We're good. Alright, so we're playing against some sort of Delvery deck. I'll pick up a couple of Swords to Plowshares. Tomic is, I guess, fine. Like, it doesn't trade with Dragon Rage Channeler, which is kind of a problem. But it Brickwalls Ragavan, trades with Delver. A lot of these decks only have, like, 2 Delvers now. I'll probably play it. Jailer is eh. Council Judgment is eh. Sanctifier is eh. Like, it's something that doesn't get lightning bolted, which is cool. But, like, that's basically it. Falls into the category of, like, maybe playable. There's probably not too many things that I actually want to actively Meddling Mage in this matchup. Like, I can Meddling Mage a Lightning Bolt or something. Probably one of my weaker links. If I go Meddling Mage out, that gives me these things. That might be good enough. Jailer and Council's Judgment are fine. I don't know that they're necessary. Seems like I've got an okay thing going now. Like, I can try to, like, really pile on the removal and, like, do that instead of boarding Tomics in or something. But I think this is good enough. I think the Palace Jailer becomes slightly more attractive when I'm on the play, but there's, like, Dash Ragavan to think about. This is an unexciting but fine hand. Oh, my opponent has gone to 5. Wow. Alright, and they did keep on 5. I'll play a Mom. Alright, we'll see if it gets bolted end of turn. It does not get bolted end of turn. That bodes well for me. Wonder if my opponent's flooded. That was just randomly a fetch too thin prior to drawing. Sure. Okay. So I think this turn's pretty straightforward. We Wasteland this. Yeah, Brainstorm away. That's fine. Then I essentially reset the board, which is very favorable to me here. Oh, yeah, okay, GG. I don't think I'm going to get cute and attack with Bomb and just get got by a Swords to Plowshares or a Prismatic Ending. Okay. Okay. Guess my opponent is more on the controlling side than I gave them credit for. I don't think this super matters, though. Let's Recruiter. Yes. I think this is just Sanctum Prelate here. Just lock out 1-drops. Okay. Alright. Opponent's mana base is interesting now. Hit him. Now, I could just go, like, Champion Thalia's Lieutenant and put on as much possible hurt as I can. I think that's bad, though. Alright, there's a Brainstorm. Prelate resolves. I will still name 1. If I get got by a Terminus, I get got by a Terminus. Like, so be it. Sure. Milling a Brainstorm. That is now useless. Okay, so I have 4 mana. I think we're just pushing damage here. Let's do one of these. I can force it if they want. I don't care. Yep. Pitching a Ponder. Okay, that's a good interaction for them. They got to use a card that they otherwise wouldn't. Alright, but now I get to attack for 5 this turn. I've got a 2-turn clock. That also just allows me to cast a Recruiter next turn for a little bit more damage and selection. Sure. That's fine. Ooh. I probably am supposed to just, like, re-Sanctum Prelate. Rename one. And one of these at Teferi, send one of these at my opponent's face. And they are still on a 2-turn clock. Sure. They are very far away from casting that. I also have Caracas. So this is not a real problem. Alright. Hit as hard as possible. I think hitting as hard as possible is probably fine. Name human here. Play an uncounterable recruiter. Just hit yes. I think I just recruiter for a recruiter here. And then the second time around, play this Thalia's lieutenant. Bash in. I think that leaves my opponent at 1. They did not blind rip the Terminus. GG's. Okay, I'm going to be keeping this opening hand. It's not particularly amazing, but, like, we have Aether Vial into Double Wasteland. Oh, sorry, I unmuted that and coughed. That was terribly rude of me. I was distracted by my by chatting with my opponent. They're inexperienced with Legacy, but they've been watching my videos as a way to prepare. So we've just been chatting a little bit. Okay, so I will just be starting with a basic into an Aether Vial here. And if our opponent is playing something that Wasteland is good against, my hand is stellar. If they're not, you know, maybe we can get there still. This is a very high variance hand in terms of how good versus bad it could be. Okay, Mountain? I don't think I'm prepared to Meddling Mage after just seeing Mountain. But I have nothing else to do with this turn. Alright, I'll do it. In the absence of more information, I'm just going to name Lightning Bolt here. If my opponent is playing Burn, this is a fine name. If they are playing Red Prison, this is a brick. But I think I just want to get this in play so that I can Vial in Thalia's Lieutenant on my next turn and get my attacks on. If my opponent's playing Red Prison and they don't just immediately Blood Moon me, I get to Wasteland them, and I'm not super worried about Red Prison anyway. I think this is an okay Meddling Mage name. Oh, it is a Spirit Guide. Oh? Okay. Alright. That was a thing that just occurred. Oh god, a second Thalia's Lieutenant is dope here. Okay, so this is where we get cute, alright? So, we cast a Thalia's Lieutenant. Show mercy. Oh no. Oh no mercy here. Now, with this on the stack, we activate Aether Vial and put in the second Thalia's Lieutenant. And our creatures are going to get big. Real big. Yeah, okay. So I'm attacking for 7 this turn. I don't... Oh, no, you're not attacking. I'm attacking for 4 this turn. Okay. So that puts my opponent to 16, and they are on a 2-turn clock. I also have a Swords of Plowshares for creature. I'm not super sure what Cleansing Wildfire is indicative of. Like, if I see white, then I'll get it, because there could be, like, Aven Mind Sensor, Leonin Arbiter shenanigans as well. But until I see a second color, I'm not entirely sure what's going on over there. That's fine. Okay, so I need to do some quick Aether Vial numbers. I probably leave this at 2, given the density of my spells, rather than tick up to 3. Okay. Send them. My opponent to 7, which is lethal next turn, and I'll play a new Aether Vial. Okay, looks like we're taking down this game. I'll take up this other vial and send in the critters. Alright, my opponent is dead, and now I have to figure out how to sideboard versus just Cleansing Wildfire. I don't know. If my opponent is playing some sort of, like, land destruction, like Pox-esque strategy, then having access to drawing more cards is pretty legit. Tomic can protect my stuff from Wasteland. Let's board in Tomics. I am unsure about the quality of cards like Swords to Plowshares and Solitude. Same goes with like Council's Judgment, Cataclysm. Like I saw like literally 3 cards, including lands, for my opponent. I'm going to assume that Solitude is probably my worst card in the main deck, followed by Sanctum Prelate, because I wouldn't know what to name. So I'm going to board those out for sure. I'm 100% boarding in the Tomics. Maybe I board out Meddling Mages. I don't know what to name. So if I fill these slots, I can play Sanctifier, Invec, Alice Jailer, Council's Judgment, and keep 1 Meddling Mage or Sanctum Prelate. Or just, like, board the Cataclysm. What would I most likely want to tutor for? Sanctum Prelate. I am a mono-white deck now. It is difficult for me to evaluate the strength of this hand without knowing exactly what my opponent is doing. This hand doesn't have any impressive early plays, and for that reason, an average 6 might be better, but it does have the Palace Jailer, which could be amazing or could be terrible. Same is true as Swords to Plowshares. I think I'd like a lower variance hand than this. I would not fault anyone for keeping this. I think I'd rather have, like, Mother Runes, Esper Sentinel type opening hands. Yeah, this is a fantastic 5-card hand. I'll probably throw back the Wasteland here. And Mother of Runes. Okay. It's just land pass right now. Holy hell, this hand is going to get aggressive if I want it to be. I think, regardless, I'm still going to play out this Aether Vial. I don't know how much interaction for artifacts my opponent is going to have, but if this doesn't get abraded or something, this is very strong. Oh. That's the sort of thing we're doing. Okay, I've boarded wrong. Now I know what's up. So we're playing against a red Eldrazi variant, so I want these Solitudes and these Swords to Plowshares. The Meddling Mages being out of the deck is still good for me. So my opponent should probably take one of my Champion of the Parishes here. Okay, they have taken a Mother of Runes, which is interesting since they have a Thought-Knot Seer in play. They may have reasons for it, though. Okay, so I'm going to ignore this Aether Vial for right now. I'll cast it next turn. But I think it's more important to just get both of these in play now. And I think I'm just going to main phase this rather than wait. There's very minimal differences between the 2 lines, but a 1 damage red instant, for example, could be a difference of why I would want to do it now. Yeah, I'll take this damage. No big deal. I don't know that my opponent is the beatdown. They're attacking as if they are the beatdown, but I am going to produce a lot of power here. Like, as long as I draw some creatures, I'm going to end up with the bigger board. Okay. A lot of open mana. This is disgustingly good. So I will go ahead and Wasteland there. Which way do I want to do this? Do different things. I kind of want to leave them with the Ancient Tomb, make them take that damage. I'll take the Temple. Oh, sweet summer child. You knew about the Thalia in my hand. I'm so sorry. This means I don't get to play my second Aether Vial. That's fine. Yeah, they forgot about that. So I will crash in for 5, and then I get to do a fucking dope trick. I'm gonna style on my opponent. I'm going to block with Thalia when they attack with Thought-Knot Seer, and then bounce Thalia back to my hand and use it to grow Champion of the Parish. Yeah, that's fine. This is just disgusting. Yep. Block. And bounce. We're going to say no to that one. Oh, what a draw, too. Alright, so I will go ahead and just play this Esper Sentinel, and that grows both of these. Okay. Now I'll attack in. Do I want to attack with the second Champion of the Parish? Like, would I trade one for Thought-Knots here? Yeah, that would be fine. I would end up with the bigger creature and more things on board. Yes. Put in this Thalia. Get to draw a card out of this. It's super sick if I draw a Wasteland. Alright, land, pass. My opponent's at the lower life total here. I have the larger creature. They have an Ancient Doom. I have multiple expendable chump blockers if that's something that I need to do. Ramunap or Ruins? Sure. That's fine. Yeah, you're no longer the beatdown. Oh, that's disgusting. So now I will probably go for making them double block. Alright, so I'll crash in. Yeah. Source of Plowshares, this Thought-Knot Seer. I'll draw a card. Alright, nice. Take out that creature in combat. Make my land drop. Call it a turn. Okay. They're flooding out a bit, which is not good. Yeah, that is not a sign of strength. I am going to just go ahead and thin my deck of a land. I'll just pick up a basic here. And we're going to continue to not do anything with this file. Alright, Esper Sentinel doesn't get to attack in, but the other two do. Oh, that's fine. Take your jump block. I'll just play a land. And now, end of turn, I can just like grow my champion one more time if that's something that I want to do. Alright, we have gotten the GG. Alright, we're opening up on the no lander here, so that's a quick mulligan, and this will be a fine hand to keep, probably pitching our 5-drop. Just to talk about this also could be a hand where you throw back the Aether Vial and just say, I'm going to play Champion of the Parish into Thalia's Lieutenant and try to just beat as hard and as quickly as possible. That's not how I am going to play this out since I have the Recruiter of the Guard, but I just want to throw that out as an alternate timeline that exists. This is definitely a hand that skews towards, like, the beatdown. We're not going to have a ton of interaction with our opponent. We could draw things that are interaction, but I don't have them as of right now, just innately. Okay. That's a fair land. This is usually like Maverick or Elves or maybe a green-white depths deck. Alright, fuck me, I guess. Maybe a green Stompy deck? Question mark, question mark, question mark? With like Urza Saga? Could also just be Cloud Post. This turn kind of plays itself. And then I floop the Mom into play. Play Thalia's Lieutenant next turn, and Mom probably is attacking in this matchup if I were to guess. Okay, another forest. Alright. Okay, I mean, that's a play that's like what Cloud Post would do. Oh, there's more. Okay, that, plays around a Aven Mind Sensor or something crazy like that. Sure. And that's kind of annoying. I'll pay for both. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch here, just for the sake of doing it. And I'll bash in. My opponent produces 1 mana. I am giving a Lightning Bolt worth of damage every turn. And as soon as I draw 1 more land, it's a whole hell of a lot more than a Lightning Bolt. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's an Elvish Reclaimer. And my opponent is going to have to pay for that every turn. So that is probably not activating anytime soon. We'll just pay for all this stuff. Okay, I did not draw the land. Do I want to play Mother of Runes? It taps down another one of my mana. It allows me to get in for 3. Sure. We'll do that. And I'll take my hit for 3. Opponent's down to 14. Okay. Are they going to rotate away the Tabernacle? No. Which is a little surprising to me. Okay. So now they lose their Elvish Reclaimer because they can't pay for it. Was that Cloud Post that good? I mean, that's good, but I'm still just hitting for 5 through this Tabernacle. Alright. 5, yeah. Okay. That's annoying. Sure. Okay. I accept my graveyard being junked. I will go ahead and Continue to pay for all of these. All right, so we will just do this thing where I give this protection from green and bash in. My opponent is potentially dead in 2 turns, depending on whether or not they end up paying for their Arboreal Grazer. They might. I don't know what their mana constraints at the top end of their curve look like. Alright, they will pay. That buys them time. They need a finisher. Like, they could have had a finisher if they rotated away Tabernacle, kept their Elvish Reclaimer. They could have gotten Eye of Ugin, and then I'm in awful shape. Sure. Blow up the Pithing Needle on Aether Vial. Do it. No? Alright. Sure. I continue to pay all these. Okay. We'll repeat the same pattern. And bash in for 3. 2 more turns of this. On it's down to 6. And note that paying for these creatures actively takes away from their mana, decreasing the power of some of their top decks. So they have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total mana, which is enough to cast, say, an Olamog if they top deck it. But if they pay for these, then they no longer have that amount of mana. Or if they pay for these, they can cast a smaller Walking Ballista. You know, there's those sorts of situations going on. Alright, looks like opponent rationalizes the same thing. Okay. Once Upon a Time is pretty good for them. Like, that selection that they desperately need. I will be attacking them to 1. A Ramunap Excavator that they cannot cast this turn cycle. Okay. I'll attack you to 1. I've pretty easily got the win here, unless they top deck a monster. Oh, wait, they can play a Glimmer Post from Graveyard. That's annoying. Alright, so they go to 5. I can hit for 5 next turn. If I Source of Plowshares this. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and Source of Plowshares this, because this is annoying. Oh wait, hold on. Do I just have to win a different way? I can upkeep Mother of Runes Protect Champion of the Parish from green, and then play double Thalia's Lieutenant. That is lethal next turn. Okay, my opponent cannot crop rotation. Yeah, that should be safe. Yeah, okay, let's not do that. Yeah, let's not do that. Alright, let's protect this from green. Oh wait, I guess I only need to do this once, right? Yeah, okay, so I'll let that one go. Then I pay for the other 2. That's Pithing Needled. Let's play the Thalia's Lieutenant, which grows Champion of the Parish by 2. Is pro-green. So I'll get in there for lethal. I'm glad I didn't just, like, fire off that Source of Plowshares without actually thinking about it. I didn't need to do that to win. I prevented my opponent from seeing 1 more card. Alright, probably play the extra Source of Plowshares versus this deck. That's probably going to be about it. Vesuva doesn't target. My opponent's somewhat unlikely to be playing a Dark Depths package. They could have, whatchamacallits, though. They could just naturally have some Thespian stages. I'll probably board this in. Hockey is sometimes annoying versus their Pithing Needle sorts of hands, and sometimes annoying if I have Vial. Cataclysm's great. These are the, like, maybe I can board these. Mother of Runes is not particularly good in this matchup. The pro-green was incredibly relevant this game. I don't think that's the norm. I don't think I need Solitude. I don't think Sanctum Prelate is super consistent. I don't think Meddling Mages are great, because I'm often going to be naming something that's like a 1 or 2 of to stop the, like, highest level disaster things. Dahlia's medium, Mom's medium. But, like, I would want a Meddling Mage, something like Olamog the Ceaseless Hunger, which is probably a 1 or 2 of in that deck. One of the things I'm more scared of. Yeah, I don't think I actually want Meddling Mage. That means I can get 2 more of these cards in here. And just pick up Palace Jailer as something that can answer a big creature without actually giving them life. And then play the Council's Judgment. That can just get rid of whatever. I want to be the beatdown when possible here. I'm not going to win the long game. This hand is fine. It is very bad if my opponent just like goes like Forest, Pithing Needle on Wasteland. Otherwise, this is fine. We'll see how it goes. Sure. Don't needle me. Fuck! I mean, that's fine. We kept the hand knowing that this would be the thing that would make this hand bad. Oh ho 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 ho. So this is good for a number of reasons. Like, number one, Cataclysm is just an absolute bomb versus this deck. Number two, like, long term, I can Recruiter for a 3-mana idiot that gets rid of stuff, get rid of this Pithing Needle, and then start wastelanding my opponent. Opponent's build is super interesting. Explorers and the other idiot. Would just love to draw anything that I can play this turn other than a Thalia. Yeah, Esper Sentinel is fine. It's a play this turn. And I think I do need to keep committing bodies to the board, even though I'm thinking about casting a Cataclysm. I need to pressure my opponent. I also need to operate under the assumption that it's possible that I just get like a Thought-Knot Seer and I lose my Cataclysm. In which case, I 100% can't be holding back too much. Esper Sentinel will also hopefully replace itself. Also, there's a world where my opponent times out. I'm up about 6 minutes. Okay, there's a crop rotation. See if I get to draw a card for it. My guess is no? Oh, I did. Yeah, if I take this Pithing Needle out of play, the next turn is gross. Okay, they do have a Dark Depths package. Alright, they are all about playing many lands. Okay, we're probably just Recruitering this turn. Alright, so we Recruiter. Yes. I'll take a quick look, but I'm pretty sure that I just want the Skyclave so that I can be wastelanding later. A little awkward with the Oracle around, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm not really expecting removal from my opponent. I'm just going to go ahead and take 1 point of damage this turn. So another thing I can do is just consider like Skyclaving the Oracle and then just casting a Cataclysm and saying like, hey, you can keep your Pithing Needle. Okay. Hey, yeah, that's a lot of mana. So next turn, this is 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, next turn they have Emrakul. So I absolutely have to do something about that. So a Primeval Titan would be real bad here. That is a green sun for a Primeval Titan. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah, so my opponent is going to get to keep a Primeval Titan in play after I cast this Cataclysm. I am not going to do the things that I want to do here. I Kozilek the Great Distortion and a Tabernacle. Alright, I'm gonna let all this stuff die. Okay, so I'll cast the Cataclysm and we'll try to live. This is obviously quite bad. I think I'm basically dead here, but because my opponent is now down 8 minutes on clock, I'm not going to concede. Because there is a very, very real chance that they time themselves out in game 3. I can also just like top deck a Swords to Plowshares, answer Primeval Titan, and be good in that regard. Did I leave Solitudes in? No, I took Solitudes out. Now that I know they have Primeval Titan, I might have to keep Solitude. Although honestly, I'm hoping to end the game by the time my opponent is at 6 mana most of the time. Oh, it's just kind of unfortunate that my opponent had like the turn 1 Pithing Needle this time around. Yeah, that's not going to do what you want. Yeah, since those two things enter simultaneously, they can't just copy each other. Alright, this is going to be a Charming Prince Scry turn. Let's just go ahead and fetch out a land here, thin the deck. Trample, right? You trample. Find an answer to this Primeval Titan. Nope! Since this tramples, this is probably worth the same amount of life next turn. So I think I don't block this turn. Okay, fine. I go to 7. I still have a couple of draws. My opponent's pretty far ahead in terms of like mana production and such. Destroy it. Destroy it. No. Yeah, and this was a great reason why I might... Wow, that too, huh? This is a great reason why I might wanted to have not blocked. Now I can just trade with this. Is there a world where I want to play Champion of the Parish this turn? This is not a human. It's not going to grow the Champion of the Parish. Probably not. Take out your Pithing Needle. On the off chance that I actually get to use these Wastelands and have it be relevant. Again, I don't think that's super likely. Okay. That's fine. Alright, so the Primeval Titan fetches out 2 more lands. Yeah. I already know this is a losing game. We are running the ball here. Running down the clock. Come on, swords. That's not swords, but it's pretty damn good. Alright. I would like democracy, please. I will vote for Primeval Titan. Okay, do I want to play around crop rotation for a Dryad Arbor? I don't think so. That's pretty fringe to play around. Although maybe I should play around it, because I'm not going to deal 28 points of damage before my opponent times out. I guess if they have that, I have a Wasteland. That's fine. Maybe that's not true, though. Would be able to Thespian stage it. So if my opponent goes to copy their Cloud Post here, I'm going to Wasteland it. Yeah. So let's destroy Cloud Post. Alright. There's a chance now. Oh no, my opponent found something to do. That's 7 mana. That's a new Primeval Titan, assuming they have more than one. They do. Okay. Bad news for me. So now we just take as many game actions as I can. Alright, my opponent takes the damage. I'll cast an uncounterable Champion of the Parish. Already played a land. Go to their turn. Their upkeep, I will blow up their Thespian stage. Nah, I'll blow up this Glimmer Post. Alright, I'm going to get attacked for 6 and die here. Alright, my opponent did not fetch. They know what's up. This thing has trample, so I am going to just die here. But I have over 3 times the amount of clock that my opponent has left remaining. So keeping that in mind, I definitely want Solitudes. I just don't want my opponent to kill me. What am I boarding out? Whatever, Esper Sentinels, whatever, Thalos, whatever, Charming Princes, whatever. Let's maybe go Charming Prince out. And then ram 1 Recruiter. Hope to just have an early game aggressive start. But also pretty easily trim 1 Thalia. Yep, this hand is great. Alright, my opponent has gone to 5. Which probably means that this Wasteland backing Thalia and or Tomic is just going to be gross. Alright, goes on human. And I play a champion. Alright, that's a Wasteland target. And after the mulligan, I am just going to absolutely snap that off and reset the game with me having a land and a 1/1 in play. Yep. Okay. Go for taxation here. Hit my opponent for 2. I probably don't need to Tomic immediately against my opponent. Oh, did they F6 their turn, or do they literally just have nothing? Tomic. Throw my champion. I hope you have a Tabernacle or something you're sandbagging, because otherwise you're in trouble. I mean, you're still probably in trouble even if you have a Tabernacle, honestly. Okay, no, they legit just missed a land drop last turn. They're pretty close to dead here, then. Alright. Put some counters on stuff. Puts my opponent to 1, I believe. Yep. Alright, basically needs to be a Glacial Chasm. Okay, we killed my opponent before they timed out. GG's, we're up to 3-0. Okay, we are playing against a Yorion deck this round. If I am playing against a Yorion D&T deck, this hand is pretty awful. If I am playing against another Yorion deck, like a control deck or something like that, this is a quite good hand. Accordingly, I'm going to go ahead and keep this and hope we are not playing against D&T. Alright. Plains Mom, go. Yeah. If you're in a D&T mirror or pseudo mirror, you don't want to be the person that's down a card in your starting hand. Alright. Do you have the Swords of Plowshares for me? No. Ether Vial. Okay, cool. I mean, not exactly cool. Oh. Well, that's rough. It pitches a Skyclave, though. But generally speaking, I am very likely to lose this game. I can Meddling Mage Yorion at some point. That's, I guess, good. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch. I'm just gonna grab basic planes here. I'll grab a blue source right before I need to cast this Meddling Mage. Alright, my opponent's Vial ticks up, and we'll see if they have, like, shit, a Stoneforge. Yeah. They also have equipment, whereas I don't have equipment. Life's bad. I also think they have Mother of Runes, because they got a Jitte when they could have just, like, grabbed a Cauldron that easily beats Thalia, and Thalia beats, like, Stoneforge plus Jitte here. So that's a thing. Alright. I'm gonna grab a Tundra. I'll play a Mom. Now that I have Vial, Meddling Maging Yorion isn't actually that good either, huh? I still just do it? Make them take a Vial up to 5 if they want to do it? I guess. Okay, oh shit, they did not have Mom. Do they just have, like, a Cauldron or a Batterskull in hand already, then? That, I guess, is reasonable. Oh, delicious tea. Gotta take care of yourself. I do teaching all day. Oh. Oh. Kind of some weird, wonky timing. I don't know, maybe they just played around a Vendilion click. Or maybe I shouldn't read too much into my opponent's individual decisions. That's also possible. Alright. Yes. I think we're just grabbing my one Cyclave Apparition here. Take the Jitte out of play later. I don't think I'm supposed to attack with the Meddling Mage right now. I would be attacking it into things like Thalia that I very much don't want to attack into. I'm not punished. Sure. Yeah, that's bad for me. At least I get time. Yeah, I agree with that decision. Sure. Okay. Alright. I believe the Jitte is scarier than the Mother of Runes or the Vial. I'll take that out, and now I can attempt to go for some attacks. I can't attack with anything that I value too highly. I don't actually want to tap the Mom. But let's see if we can get this show on the road. Nice. Well, things are going better than I expected. Yep, that's fine. Sure. Alright, so my opponent is working towards the Aether Vial on 5 to do the Yorion thing. And I guess I'm the beatdown currently. Yeah. I guess I should have played the Meddling Mage pre-combat to get one more point of damage in. I didn't want to show my opponent that I had another Meddling Mage, though. But I think that was a mistake after thinking about it for a second. Okay, I'm going to let priority go to my opponent here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to let priority go to my opponent. Okay, they protect. If they protect, I will also protect. Protection from white. I'll get protection from white. My opponent could be at 7 instead here if I had played this pre-combat. I guess another stone. Flicker Wisp would be pretty bad too. Let's name Flicker Wisp. So my opponent can still just, like, loop Yorion to hand, put it in play via Vial, and then they get another piece of equipment, which is pretty bad for me. Okay, there's a punish for tapping the Mom on my turn. Super bad. Now they get to, like, Yorion blink it as well. Gross. Yeah. Oh, their Yorion's not in hand right now. It's still chilling in the command zone, or whatever the fuck it's actually called. Well, that's pretty good for me. I mean, I guess. Guess I send it all? I probably don't actually send the Recruiter. Everything else can go. I think this is a math is for blockers situation. Like, I'll give up one bad body here. Oh, that's interesting. So my opponent's going to take 6 here. And lose that creature. For sure. Just going to F6. My opponent probably wins this game, though. Like, I have to basically kill them next turn. And that's exceedingly difficult to do. Because they're going to have a bunch of blockers of different colors, and they're going to get a piece of equipment with Stoneforge Mystic. Oh my god, they just, like, topped Cauldron too. Alright. Solitude into Cauldron was pretty brutal, Do not believe I am coming back from this. Yeah. I'm gonna lose my champion of the parish to this. Alright, these things come back. My opponent also gets to untap the Cauldron by blinking it. That was rough. There's a Sword of Fire and Ice. Good to know they're playing that. And I think I can go ahead and concede here. I'm not going to get over the finish line after all that. I got closer than I expected to. But kind of like from the opening grip, I knew that if we were actually playing against Death and Taxes, we were not going to be favored. And like, we can see like my opponent's late game is the reason why I'm probably not going to win this match. Just generally speaking, they've got Stoneforge and equipment and Yorion, whereas like I have a better early game, but like they also have Swords to Plowshares and Solitudes to get through that. All right, I'm probably gonna play Swords to Plowshares, Council's Judgment, Palace Jailer, and then like Tomek falls into this like it's whatever plan, as does Kataki. Kataki not dealing with Aldra is kind of a kick in the butt. I don't really want Thalia. Honestly, I don't super want Meddling Mage either, but I might need it when I'm on the play to name Stoneforge Mystic. But again, like my opponent has like Aether Vials and shit that can cheat that. I don't want Sanctum Prelate, that's for sure. How many of these does this give me? Are there 2 more cards that I want to board out? Esper Sentinels are kind of weak too. Yeah, this is not a favorable matchup for me. My opponent also has more copies of Skyclave Apparition than I do. Yeah, we're going down in this match. I'll try to put on a good show though. This is a slow but powerful Aether Vial based hand. I guess I'm keeping it. Land go. And we'll see how this does. I just hope my opponent doesn't have an Aether Vial of their own. God damn it. Alright. They also had a basic, so I don't get to wasteland them. I am gonna not play this. I would rather be able to Swords to Plowshares a Stoneforge Mystic in this turn cycle. Fuck. Yeah. I'm not even gonna float. They know what's up. Yeah. Alright. Life is bad. Okay. Now my Swords to Plowshares is a dead card. I have some ability to grind here, but just like it's not going to be better than Flicker Wisp Chains or Stoneforge Mystic Equipment or whatever. Fuck. Yes, we're doing this. This is incredibly anemic. Ugh. But I need to take this up to 4 towards like Palace Jailer. Alright. Plenty of ways this attack can go wrong. But I am so far behind right now that I just need to do this. Okay, why is this not fucking boarded out? Like, Thalia is the first card you probably want to be boarding out in a pseudo mirror. Like, it's Thalia and Sanctum Prelate as the first things that you board out. God damn it. That's why I made this attack. Is because, like, the other things that would be here, like Spirit of the Labyrinth and Stoneforge Mystic, I would at least trade with. That's not the case with this. Alright. So I'm basically at the point where if this Palace Jailer doesn't take over the game, this game is lost. Alright, let's do Recruiter shenanigans. Okay. Okay, but why? But why? You just gave me information before I made this Recruiter decision. Really far away from this Palace Jailer. I've got to probably hardcast that. I could grab a Solitude. I don't think that gets me to a winning situation, though. I guess I grab a Mother of Runes. Yeah. Alright. That's not the best. Sure. I guess I put this in now on the off chance that that's a Containment Priest. Okay, it's a Stoneforge. That's going to be a Cauldron that's in play. That's pretty devastating. I think I can basically concede here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move to the next round. That's fine. This is a fantastic Aether Vial hand. I will be keeping this. Oh, my opponent is going to 5, which means combo. My hand does not have interaction versus combo. 3? Good God. Well, hopefully they don't do anything. I can put up a really reasonable clock, assuming I don't just immediately die. But, you know, there are land, entomb, reanimate quality hands that just do gross things. Alright. Let's play out the vial. Alright. But my opponent does not have the ability to cast their spells. I want some sort of like Thalia or Meddling Mage type card more than anything else here. Alright. So I want to tap this. Yeah, I'm going to put in Esper Sentinel. And then I probably just play one of these and start working on increasing my clock. The dream is drawing a land so that I can get a Thalia into play. Nice. Alright. Play a Recruiter. And yes. Thalia. Tap. Yes. Thalia. And crash in for 5. Opponent's at 15. Alright, and that's it. Okay, so I should assume that my opponent is on some sort of combo deck, and the question is just like, how many of these cards am I going to board versus unknown opponent? I'll probably board Deafening Silence, Mindbreak Trap, Canonist. Then, like, from there, the cards that I would board are more fringe and questionable. So, like, for example, if my opponent is a graveyard-based combo deck, Sanctifier Invec does some stuff. So, like, these 5 I'm for sure boarding, and then, like, do I want to gamble on Sanctifier Invec? Alright, I did a quick search of my opponent. They have a few finishes with Oops all spells. Does Sanctifier Invec actually do anything? A black or red permanent... Oh, spell or card. Yes, so it would. It would stop the Dread Return from going to the graveyard. Alright, I will board those. Kataki is kind of medium minus. It can technically do some things against artifact mana that's played out. I'm not sure that I want that. The Swords to Plowshares type stuff is not super good versus Oops. Like, every once in a while you can catch out a creature that's played out and they don't have the mana to activate it in the same turn. I don't know if I actually want those. I don't super want Charming Prince. Cyclave's kind of whatever, I might keep it. This is 62. Oh, Mom's not super important. Like, Mom protects a Canonist from a Force of Vigor. That's about it. Let's try this, I guess. This is a turn 2 Thalia. This is okay. It's not great, it's just okay. My opponent began the game with 7. On the draw, do I need to mulligan more aggressively than Thalia? Probably, honestly. Let's mulligan. Hand's better. Let's keep this and toss back the Aether Vial. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. And we end up with a 4-2 in, or sorry, 4-1 in the league. Overall, on the thoughts on the deck list, good. The thing is, though, we didn't really play against much of what I would call like the traditional metagame, right? The round 1 was against sort of a Dragon Rage Channeler Predicty 4-color control deck, and we played against Death and Taxes, but our other rounds were like Red Eldrazi, Green Post, and Oops, which are not the most traditional spells. But, like, the deck felt pretty good against everything except Death and Taxes. I mean, we're probably not favored versus Oops, but, like, we got there, right? The deck has aggressive, powerful starts, but it kind of falls off as the game goes long. So if you are looking to close out games quickly, this is totally fine and reasonable. I don't know that this is actually better than something like Death and Taxes, because, like, you don't have quite as good of an end game. But the whole Champion of the Parish, Thalia's Lieutenant, closed games pretty hard, and we did get ourselves out of a few tough spots. So this one gets a thumbs up for me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, throw me a like on your way out. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. And if you want to get one of your own decks on the channel, or, you know, you want to just say, hey, Phil, take the wheel, that donation information is available in the video description. And I always do love hearing Dealer's Choice, because it gives you sweet decks like this. All right, have a great rest of the day, folks.